हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
दंडवत प्रणाम नितिन प्रभु। जय श्री प्रभुपाद।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
माता दंडवत प्रणाम। जय श्री प्रभुपाद।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
युगेंद्र प्रभु दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु। जय प्रभुपाद। How are you both doing? Prabhu Mataji, Yugendra Prabhu.
Prabhu ji, we are doing good, Prabhu ji. Thank you.
Health wise good?
Health wise, I came back to normal, Prabhu ji.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
Chandra Prabhu दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु। जय श्री प्रभुपाद।
जय श्री प्रभुपाद।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
Mataji दंडवत प्रणाम। जय श्री प्रभुपाद। So today we will sing this one song.
दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु जी, हरे कृष्ण।
Srinivas Prabhu दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु। Hare Krishna. It's a song by RadhaKund Thakur glorifying the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. Gauranga bolite habe Ulaka sharira Hari Hari bolite Nayane bhavini Gauranga bolite habe Ulaka sharira Hari Hari bolite Nayane bhavini Har bhavini pai chande Karuna horibe Samsara masana mora Kabe tu চাহাবে আর কাবে নিতাই চন্দে করুণা হইবে samsara basana mora tabe kuchahabe vishaya chariya kabe chudaha bhimana kabe hama hirabo Shri Vrindavana Ishaya Chariya Kabe Chudaha Bhimana Kabe Hama Hirabo Shri Vrindavana Rupa Raghunatha Pade Haribe Akuti Kabe Hama Bhujabo Se Jugala Priti Rupa Raghunatha Pade Horibe Akuti Kabe Hama Bhujabo Se Jugala Priti Rupa Raghunatha Pade Rahu Mora Asha Radhathana Korone Sada Narotamadasa Rupa Raghunatha Pade Rahu Mora Asha Radhathana Korone Sada Narotamadasa
ఇంకా తాగలేదంట. ఫోన్లది తింటున్నారు, పర్వాలేదు. పప్పుచారు కూడా పెద్ద తినట్లే ఈ మధ్య. పొట్లకాయ, బీరకాయ కూడా నమ్మంటారు. పొట్లకాయ ఒకటి.
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहागना ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितं हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानु सुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय। वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरून् दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम्। So first we will read the meaning of this song, Gauranga Bolite Habe. This is a song written by Sri Narottam Das Thakur. When will that opportune moment come to us, when there will be shivering of the body as soon as we chant Lord Gauranga's name? Gauranga Bolite Habe Pulaka Sharira. Pulaka Sharira means when the body will go in ecstasy. Gauranga Bolite Habe, when will that day be mine? When I will chant the name of Gauranga. While chanting Hare Krishna, when will there be tears in my eyes? When will I obtain the mercy of Arakabe Nitai Chande? When will I obtain the mercy of Lord Nityananda Chandra? When by his mercy will the desire for material enjoyment become very insignificant? When the mind is completely purified, being freed from material anxieties and desires, then I shall be able to understand Vrindavan and the conjugal love of Radha and Krishna. Then my spiritual life will be successful. When shall I be very much eager to study the books left by Sri Goswamis, headed by Srila Rupa Goswami and Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. By their instruction, I shall be able to properly understand the loving affairs of Radha and Krishna. My only aspiration is to attain the lotus feet of 6 Goswamis, headed by Srila Rupa Goswami and Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. Narottam Das constantly prays to attain their lotus feet. Okay, so now back to verse number 10. We will read this verse again. Can you see the screen?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you. So now we will read the 10th verse translation, and then we go to the last verse for today, which is the 11th. In the Shastra, this is something we discussed last week, but here is a quick summary. In the Shastra, it is said that of all types of fruity workers, he who is advanced in knowledge of the higher values of life is favored by the Supreme Lord Hari. So those who are Gyanis, they are higher than the Karmis, fruity workers. Out of many such people who are advanced in knowledge, Gyanis, one who is practically liberated by the virtue of his knowledge may take to devotional service. Then those who are advanced in knowledge, they may take to Bhakti Yoga, the path of devotion. He is superior to the others. A Bhakti Yogi is superior to the Gyanis and the Karmis. However, one who has actually attained prema, pure love for Krishna, is superior to him. There are many Bhakti Yogis. There are many devotees, but those devotees who have attained prema for Krishna are superior to all the other devotees. The gopis are exalted above all the advanced devotees because they are totally dependent upon Sri Krishna, the transcendental cowherd boy. And the gopis are higher than all the pure devotees because they are 100% dependent upon Sri Krishna in all circumstances. Among the gopis, Srimati Radharani is most dear to Krishna. Among all the gopis, Srimati Radharani stands supreme. Her kunda, which is RadhaKund, the lake, is as profoundly dear to Lord Krishna as this most beloved of gopis. And Srimati Radharani is as dear to Krishna as RadhaKund is dear to Krishna, and vice versa. Sri Krishna has equal affection for Srimati Radharani and Sri RadhaKund. Who then will not reside at RadhaKund and in a spiritual body surcharged with ecstatic devotional service, aprakrita bhav, render loving service to a divine couple, Sri Radha Govinda. So who is there who will not reside at RadhaKund? One who knows RadhaKund is as dear to Sri Krishna as Srimati Radharani, who will not reside at RadhaKund and in ecstatic devotion, with bhav, with feelings, render loving service to Radha and Krishna, who perform their eternal pastimes. Indeed, those who execute devotional service on the bank of RadhaKund are the most fortunate people in the universe. So we saw past 2 verses, there is glories of RadhaKund. The RadhaKund is as dear to Sri Krishna as Srimati Radharani, and people who reside on the bank of RadhaKund are the most fortunate people in the universe and perform their devotional service. And we also saw that one can have that desire when one is on a liberated platform. So now we go to the last verse of this book, Nectar of Instruction. Krishnasyochaya pranaya vasati preyasibhyopi radha kundam chasya muni bir abhitastadrik eva Vedai. Yat preshthai alam asulambam kim punar bhakti bhajam tad premedam sakridapi saraha snatur avishkaroti. Of the many objects favored, of the many objects of favored delight, and of all the lovable damsels of Rajabhumi, Shrimati Radharani is certainly the most treasured object of Krishna's love. And in every respect, her divine Kund is described by great sages as similarly dear to him. Undoubtedly, RadhaKund is very rarely attained even by the great devotees. Therefore, it is even more difficult for ordinary devotees to attain. If one simply bathes once within those holy waters, one's pure love of Krishna is fully aroused. So, this is the line that we are going to discuss today. If one simply bathes once within those holy waters, one's pure love for Krishna is fully aroused. Here there is described again, you see how important is RadhaKund. Srila Rupa Goswami gave only 11 instructions, and among those he has dedicated 3 instructions to the glories of RadhaKund. And again, Rupa Goswami repeats the same instruction. Sri RadhaKund is as dear to Sri Krishna as Srimati Radharani. The people who perform bhajan on the bank of RadhaKund are the most fortunate people on the planet. Among all the places higher than um, um, material world is Mahesh Dham. Shiva's abode higher than Mahesh Dham is Vaikuntha Dham, where Vishnu resides higher than Vaikuntha Dham is Ayodhya Dham, higher than Ayodhya Dham is Mathura Dham, higher than Mathura Dham is Dwarka Dham, higher than Dwarka Dham is Vrindavan Dham, higher than Vrindavan Dham is Govardhan, and higher than Govardhan is Sri RadhaKund. Just see how it is the highest place, how people who perform bhajan on the bank of RadhaKund are the most fortunate people on the universe, how Srimati Radharani is the topmost devotee of Sri Krishna and the sole object of Sri Krishna's love, and how RadhaKund is as dear to Sri Krishna as Srimati Radharani, and how those who simply bathe once within the water of RadhaKund will fully arouse their pure love for Krishna. Just see, you take bath once, you will develop love of Krishna. You reside there, you are the most fortunate person. And the highest place ever existing is RadhaKund. So 3 verses, the glories of RadhaKund are emanated in by Srila Rupa Goswami. It is recommended when we go to Govardhan and when we go to RadhaKund, read the last 3 verses of Nectar of Instruction. It will bring us at that point of time, it will bring us in the mood of the glories of RadhaKund. Why is RadhaKund so exalted? So Prabhupada begins by a self-question. Why is RadhaKund so exalted? The lake is so exalted because it belongs to Srimati Radharani. This is her personal lake. That's why it is so exalted. Who is the most beloved object of Shri Krishna? Among all the gopis, she is the most beloved, Srimati Radharani. Similarly, her lake, Sri RadhaKund, is also described by great sages as the lake that is as dear to Krishna as Radha herself. Yatha Radha Priya Vishnu Tasya Kundam Priyam Tatha Sarva Gopishu Saivaika Vishnu Atyanta Vallabha. This is from Padma Puran that describes Yatha Radha Priya Vishnu. Just like Radha is dear to Krishna or Vishnu. Yatha Radha Priya Vishnu Tasyam Kundam Priyam Tatha. Likewise, Tasyam Kundam, her Kunda, Priyam Tatha is dear. Tasyam Kundam Priyam Tatha. Sarva Gopishu Saivaika. Among all the gopis, Sarva Gopishu Saivaika, Vishnu Atyanta Vallabha. Most dearest is Srimati Radharani. Among all the gopis, most dear is Srimati Radharani, and simultaneously her Kund. Krishna's love for RadhaKund and Srimati Radharani is the same in all respect. RadhaKund is very rarely attained, even by great personalities fully engaged in devotional service. So those devotees who are 100% engaged in devotional service, it is extremely rare for them to attain RadhaKund. Not to speak about ordinary devotees who are only engaged in practice of Vaidhi Bhakti. So Vaidhi Bhakti means who are following Bhakti at the platform of rules and regulations. It's a right thing to do. Those who are on that platform, what to speak about them? Even those who are spontaneously attracted and very, very exalted and continuously absorbed in rendering devotional service Sri Krishna, even for them, attaining Radha Kund is extremely rare because it is Srimati Radharani's personal Kund. It is stated that a devotee will at once develop pure love for Krishna in the wake of the gopis if he once takes bath in RadhaKund, one bath in RadhaKund, and you will develop pure love for Krishna. Srila Rupa Goswami recommends that even if one cannot live permanently on the banks of RadhaKund, he should at least take a bath in the lake as many times as possible. So Rupa Goswami says, if you cannot live there permanently, then at least take bath when you go there as many times as possible. This is the most important item in the execution of devotional service. It is said that there are 5 items which are very, very important. One is chanting the holy names of Krishna. One is visiting the holy places. One is associating with devotees. One is reading Srimad Bhagavatam. And one is worshipping the deities. These are the 5 most important aspects of devotional service. And among them, the most important item in the execution of devotional service is take bath at least once as many times as possible in RadhaKund. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes in this connection that Sri RadhaKund is the most select place for those interested in advancing their devotional service in the wake of the lady friends, Sakhis, and the confidential serving maids, Manjaris of Srimati Radharani. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that Sri RadhaKund is the most select place for those who are very much interested in devotional service. If you are very eager to advance in your Krishna consciousness, then Sri RadhaKund is the best place to perform devotional service. Living entities who are eager to return home to the transcendental kingdom of God, Goloka Vrindavan, by means of attaining their spiritual body, Siddha Deha, should live at RadhaKund. So those who are eager to go back to Godhead should live at RadhaKund. If you cannot live at RadhaKund, at least take bath as many times as possible. Take shelter of the confidential serving maids of Sri Radha and under their direction, engage constantly in her service. Constantly over there, serve the lotus feet of Sri Radha Krishna and their associates. This is the most exalted method for those engaged in devotional service under the protection of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Those who are followers of Lord Chaitanya should perform bhajan on the banks of RadhaKund, should visit RadhaKund, should bathe in RadhaKund. In this connection, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes that even great sages and great devotees like Narada and Sanaka do not get an opportunity to come to RadhaKund to take their baths. Srila Prabhupada's spiritual master Saraswati Thakur, he described even Narad Muni. We understand the glories of Narad Muni. Prahlad Maharaj is his disciple. Ambarish Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj is his disciple. Mrigari was his disciple, and most of the people, Vyasadeva was the disciple of Narad Muni, who wrote all the scriptures. What is the exalted characteristic of Narad Muni? All over Bhagavatam, Narad Muni is glorified. So Saraswati Thakur says that even great devotees like Narad Muni and Sanaka, who is Sanaka? The 4 Kumaras, Sanak, Sanathan, Sanat Kumar, Sunandana. They started their own sampradaya called Kumar Sampradaya. Very exalted devotees of Lord. Even Narad Muni and the 4 Kumaras, they also do not get an opportunity to come to RadhaKund to take their path. For them, it is extremely rare to attain RadhaKund. What to speak about ordinary devotees? What then to speak of ordinary devotees? If by great fortune one gets an opportunity to come to RadhaKund and bathe even once, he can develop his transcendental love for Krishna exactly as the gopis did. Just like gopis have pure love for Krishna, following in their footsteps, all the devotees can attain their love for Krishna if they get an opportunity to bathe. See, it is so important. It says, bathe even once. Once. He can get an opportunity to develop his transcendental love for Krishna exactly as the gopis did. It is also recommended that one should live on the banks of RadhaKund and should be absorbed in the loving service of the Lord. One should bathe there regularly and give up all material conceptions, taking shelter of Sri Radha and her assistant gopis. Take shelter of Srimati Radharani. This is Radharani's kund. Take her shelter, serve her, and chant the holy name of Krishna there. If one is thus constantly engaged during his lifetime, after giving up the body, he will return back to Godhead to serve Srimati Radharani in the same way as he contemplated during his life on the banks of RadhaKund. Those who live on the bank of RadhaKund those who um, um, those who live on the bank of RadhaKund, and in whichever way they in their consciousness whatever mood they carry while performing their bhajan, their sadhana, um, that state they attain in Goloka Vrindavan. After giving up the body, he will return back to Godhead to serve Sri Radha in the same way as he contemplated during his life on the banks of RadhaKund. The conclusion is that to live on the banks of the RadhaKund and to bathe there daily constitute the highest perfection of devotional service. It is a difficult position to attain, even for great sages and devotees like Narada. Thus, there is no limit to the glory of Sri RadhaKund. By serving RadhaKund, one can get an opportunity to become an assistant of Srimati Radharani under the eternal guidance of the gopis. So, um, by serving RadhaKund, one can get an opportunity to become a servant of Srimati Radharani. One can attain that position. Okay, so let's see. That's the last verse of Nectar of Instruction. Let's see if there are some reflections from today.
It's very rare to uh, to take a bath or even stay at the RadhaKund as we.
So, Yakin Prabhu, so your question again.
No, I thought I'm just reflecting on what you said, that it is very rare uh, uh, to be in the to take a bath in the RadhaKund as exalted personalities like Narad Muni also couldn't take it. So even once in a lifetime, if we could achieve that, we can attain the perfection in the love of Godhead. That's
Very good. Thank you, Prabhu. Even once bathing is so important there. Thank you. Any other reflection question? I see one question on the chat which says, then why are we forbidden to take bath? So probably know that we are forbidden to take bath. So actually what happened, it's a contextual reference, Prabhuji. Now, I will give two different opinions on that, and then feel free to take any opinion you like. One point of time, um, Srila Prabhupada took many disciples from the Western world to the bank of RadhaKund, and he asked them to take bath there. So they went inside the RadhaKund, they started swimming um, and playing water games. And then when Prabhupada saw that, Prabhupada became really angry, and Prabhupada asked them to come out immediately. And Prabhupada was furious, and Prabhupada said, you are not allowed to take bath in RadhaKund. You have committed a great offense by doing water sports and by swimming in Radhakund. For this, you don't know what reaction you may have to go through. The bath in Radhakund has to be taken with great awe and reverence in a deeply prayerful mood. Go down, dip 3 times, and then come out, and in a prayerful mood. Now, it is also described that one should take bath in Radhakund after one has received permission from one spiritual master. Then one should take bath in Radhakund. Another thing that is mentioned is when one take bath in Radhakund, one should be without any material desires. One should be very, very sincere and serious in one's Krishna consciousness. Without material desires, the goal of life is to go back home, back to Godhead and nothing else. With great awe and reverence, understanding the deep mood, what this bathing in Radhakund, with the instruction of spiritual master, one should take bath in Radhakund. Now, I can say certain things on this aspect. One time, Yugal Kishore Prabhu was sharing that one time, like my spiritual master, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, he did, he does Govardhan Parikrama. He took thousands of devotees with him. And on that day, he told all the devotees, now with great awe and reverence, you all can take 3 dips on the waters of RadhaKund. And that time, everybody took bath in RadhaKund, all the disciples who were present there. After that, Yugal Kishore Prabhu went again after maybe few years, and then he wanted to take bath in Radhakund, and he needed permission. We should not take bath in Radhakund unless we have taken permission. Now, it may be difficult to take permission from our spiritual master directly, because many times the spiritual master access is not there many times. But then one can take permission from some senior devotees, and then with their permission, one can take bath in Radhakund. So Yugal Kishore Prabhu also wanted to take bath again this time, and he asked one sannyasi, who was one ISKCON sannyasi, who was on the bank of Radhakund, that Maharaj, I need your permission to take bath in Radhakund. And Maharaj said, I haven't taken bath in Radhakund since past 40 years. And Yugal Kishore Prabhu understood that it's not nice to take bath in Radhakund at this point of time. No permission about it, so he did not take bath. Now I will share various instances. Then this is in the year 2019, I think, either 19 or 20, 2-3 years back. I went to Vrindavan, and then I wanted to spend some time in Radhakund and perform devotional service. So I stayed maybe around 10 days in Radhakund. In Radhakund, we have a temple. It's called Gopalji Mandir. Uh, very sweet and very active Gopalji deity resides there. So I was talking to the temple president there, and I asked him, Prabhu, how about taking bath in Radhakund? And he said, we allow all the devotees who are living in the temple on the bank of Radhakund. He said, we allow them to take bath once a year on the day of Bahula Ashtami. Bahula Ashtami is a day when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took his bath. And he said midnight, uh, uh, 12 a.m. on the day of Bahula Ashtami, uh, we allow all the devotees here residing to take bath in RadhaKund. So this is I'm giving you perspective of this temple president of Radhakund temple, ISKCON temple. Then the sannyasi who said, I never took bath in past 40 years since Prabhupada said. And here we see that Prabhupada is telling, if you see here, go down, Prabhupada himself is telling that all among the even five most potent form of devotional service, the most important is to take bath in RadhaKund. And yeah, basically Prabhupada is telling, take bath in RadhaKund as many times as possible at least. And we see here Rupa Goswami, he also says that if you cannot reside in RadhaKund, then at least take bath as many times as possible. And that constitutes the highest devotional service, and even one bathing can give you love of Godhead. Another place I heard that Srila Prabhupada restricted devotees to not take bath in Radhakund. It was circumstantial instruction. It was not an instruction for all time to come, because devotees were taking the waters of Sri Radhakund cheaply. They were thinking, it's nice water and I can swim and I can enjoy. One don't go to Radhakund to enjoy and to swim. So when Prabhupada saw that mood was not proper, he banned them to take bath again. But it does not mean, this is one perspective in ISKCON. It does not mean that we are not allowed. But if we go with the right mood, under guidance, with permission of devotees, then my personal feeling is it's okay to take bath in RadhaKund. Within ISKCON, both the views are there. My personal opinion is, with a proper mood, in a prayerful mood, after reciting these 3 verses with the purport, um, with the permission of senior devotees, it's okay to take bath in RadhaKund. Does that answer some perspective on that?
Yeah, so many questions are coming.
Yeah, go ahead. This is all the discussion is now. I don't want to start nectar of devotion today, so we can just take some discussions.
Okay, so when Prabhupada himself is saying that you can take bath, and also Rupa Goswami saying there is most potent form, then why there is a deviation in that instruction followed by others, that like sannyasi saying you should not take bath, meaning he didn't take for 40 years, or others taking only 3 drops. Like why and where this has come from? When it's mentioned that when you don't have material desires, then only you do, means it's not that everyone in a conditioned state trying to be coming out of that materialistic tendencies. When there is an opportunity, then why it is given as like, I don't know who said that, you mentioned that when you have material desires, you should not take one.
Prabhupada himself said, Prabhu, like here he says this is the most important because he want to encourage devotees, but in those conversation he said no one should take bath in RadhaKund. And when he says no one, he does not only mention those who are swimming, but he says even other who have not come here, nobody should take bath in RadhaKund, because he was so angry people's mood and behavior. So this does not stop us, but then what happens is those devotees, that's why I said with the permission of senior devotees, I said in a perspective, they know, they can see that, okay, how sincere this devotee is, how much he's trying. Based on sincerity, the devotees can gauge, okay, you can take bath in RadhaKund. That the devotees know that, okay, you are going in the right mood, in a prayerful mood, and then they can give us permission. That's why I said take permission from some senior devotees and take bath. This mood is there because Prabhupada instruction is also there that without my permission nobody should take bath. And without my permission is perceived as he is a spiritual master for all devotees at that time. So it's perceived as without the permission of spiritual master. So then this custom has started.
It's kind of misinterpretation of that conversation when we refer with respect to what Prabhupada has written in this verse.
Yeah. So that's why if you see, there are two kind of devotees, Prabhuji. Some are conservative, some are liberal, and some are in middle. So those who are conservative, they don't allow. Although it's written because of circumstances. Those who are liberal, they allow. So best is take permission and go and take bath as many times as you want. But you will see, I mean, to be honest with you, the last time I went to RadhaKund, I took bath not every day, but I took bath maybe 3-4 times in the whole 10 days. And I took permission from senior devotees, and they said, yes, take bath at least once. And then every time before I took bath, I would read this verse and get into the mood, take a 2 seconds bath in a prayerful mood, offer my prayers and come out, and it's okay, Prabhu. Take permission from devotees and then it's okay.
But why not all the days? What was the reason?
Why
Why
not?
only 3? 3 or 4 days you mentioned out of 10.
Oh, why not all the days? Prabhu, I mean, to be honest, my answer is it was not coming from within my heart that I'm qualified. So with great hesitation, I took bath because I did not feel myself qualified and free from material desires, like Prabhupada says, without any material desires. And once you go there, na Prabhu, you will see, because here Saraswati Thakur says it is very difficult even for Narad Muni and Sanaka to attain and take bath in RadhaKund even once, to attain RadhaKund. So you will see, once you go there, the spiritual energy will drive you. Like what I've heard, Raghunath Das Goswami, he would take bath 3 times every day. He would live on the bank of RadhaKund 3 times every day. Srimati Radharani allowed him. We go there, and it's very different than when we are discussing here. The place there is surcharged with spiritual divinity. Everything, your heart will be driven by Srimati Radharani's desire. So how I see it, even if I go with the towel and with the clothes and stand there, I was not allowed from within my heart to take bath. So with great hesitation I could do, and you will see it when you go there.
Okay.
Does it help?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Last time when we went first, I think then at that time we did.
I did take bath.
2008.
Yes, I did not take bath in that visit.
Yes.
Next visit, I was very, very eager and with a very strong desire. I really want to do it. Then I approached devotees, and then they gave permission. Then I went there. Although I had permission, from within my heart, I was not allowed. So it's good to consider that everything happens there is by the will of Srimati Radharani. So many times I've been there, but so many times I could not take bath because I was not allowed. It's very, very rare thing to attain. It's more than a bath, na Prabhu. It's the mood. The mood of loving affection, the deep desire to serve her, to go back in deep prayerful mood. When we have that right mood, not like theoretical, but feelingly, when we have a particular strong desire to serve, then she will allow Prabhu.
Okay.
And that desire to serve also comes by her mercy. When we are ready, she will give that desire. And when this desire is awakened, and when the desire is very strong, then you will see that, okay, then you will understand the purport that we read. That purport has many, many deeper meanings that we could not touch today because of obvious reasons. But you will see those, if you read this purport 5 times, you will extract even more and more deeper meanings. And then with those in mind, um, um, you go and you will see how important it is and what to pray in that in that time, and then we can take part.
Okay. Okay. Thank
Okay, any other reflection, question, discussion?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, one doubt. So similarly, do we have any such restrictions for the Shamakund also?
Yeah, so the right way to take bath is where there is Sangam. Sangam means there is Radhakund, there is Shamakund, and then there is a Sangam where the waters of Radhakund and Shamakund meet. So first we pay obeisances, then we take bath in Radhakund. Three time we dip, and then we come to Shamakund. 3 times we dip, and then we come back to Radhakund. 3 times we dip, and that completes the ceremony.
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you.
We don't specifically like when we say Radhakund, it refers to Shamakund also. And if we are allowed from devotees and from within our heart, then we take bath in both together. Any other discussion? If we could understand the topmost glory of Radhakund, most of the devotees that I know, that during that 10 days period I was staying there, they would come for a day or two. They would take off from their job and however they were engaged, sit on the bank of Radhakund morning till evening and continuously chant. And then when evening comes, they would leave. They would come for a day and chant whole day. One devotee also told me, don't spend a lot of time in Radhakund. Previously, I never spent time. This is the only time I spent time. One devotee said, don't spend a lot of time in Radhakund because material vision will come. Material vision, you will see some frogs are going here and there, and maybe some monkeys will come and maybe pass some urine or stool in the water of Radhakund, and maybe some fungus here and there, and maybe a lot of mosquitoes, and the roads are not clean. And when we start seeing these things, then we start committing offense to Dham, because Dham is completely transcendental beyond all the external perspectives. So when we are in Dham, we should be very careful approaching Dham. We should understand that this place and Radhakund in Golok Vrindavan, they are non-different, and the pastimes of Lord are happening here right now. These are transcendental place of transcendental pastimes of the Lord. That's why if you stay little longer, we develop familiarity with the place, um, and we may commit Dham Aparadh. That's why it's recommended for little time. Indra Prabhu, he was a pure devotee, left the planet over a decade ago, uh, completely self-realized soul. He would live in Krishna Balram Mandir, and he would tell devotees, don't stay in Radhakund until you are a liberated soul, because the spiritual potency is so high. When we perform devotional service, is highly beneficial. One round chanting there is like, I don't know, keep multiplying with thousands, and that much benefit you will get by chanting one round on the bank of Radhakund. But then some small offense also has a very big reaction. So he said, unless we are completely pure, and if we stay there and think, have material desires, I mean, we cannot control our mind, and unless we are completely purified. so many desires will pop up in the mind all of a sudden. Then we are living on a bank of RadhaKund even for a few days, and then we'll be like, what am I doing here? This is RadhaKund. It's very dangerous. That's why Indra Prabhu says, if you're liberated, then only go and stay there on the bank. Any other discussion? So if no other discussion, then I guess I'm ready to end. And next week we will start Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu or Nectar of Devotion. We have officially come to the end of Nectar of Instruction. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananda Koti Vaishnavendra ki jai, Vanshakal Kripa Sindhu Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavendra Namo Namaha, Ananda Koti Vaishnavendra ki jai. More Premanande. Thank you very much, Prabhuji's Mataji's Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Hare
Pranam. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Tanot Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.